slurring is a natural legato, as it were, for trombone. It's one of the most unique aspects in keeping music consistent and smooth as possible. Um, it was another challenge for me here at UCF because I never really learned how to play slurs in high school. They did teach it, however, I never really understood it. Um, I always thought that it was a different type of tonguing technique, but it's not. Um, there are many people that are thinking that, oh, just slide the trombone slide. That's not it. That is not a slur. That is what is called a glissando. And glissandos are much more of a jazz technique, as it were. Um, it's what gives the trombones that funky feeling and those funny what makes those funny sounds within pieces. For example, if you watched either the Looney Tunes or Tom and Jerry when you were little, or if you still do, just for the nostalgia, you may hear sounds like this. That is what the glissando is for, at least for those. When it comes to jazz, glissandos can be either be downward or upward. That was a bit of an exaggeration, but that's what it's for. If you gliss is more of a downward for a consistent from note to note, and then when you play it upward, jazz techniques go into scoops. When you go ahead and play notes like a C to a D or a G to an A. That is what scoops and glissandos can be used for. Moving back to slurring, we go ahead and look back to Brad Edwards' lip slurs, the same book that Dr. Louis Fred recommended me from UCF. This book will help assist you in any way for trombone slurs. The easiest slurring is for trombone is slurring in the natural position, meaning that if you stick to one position and just play the notes from there, it's gonna be almost like an arpeggiated pattern. Let's use the first position, for example, in B flat. So we're gonna play the low B flat, play the fifth, which is the F, then do the upper B flat, then do D and F, and then go ahead and descend. It's all up when it comes to that type of slurring. It all relies with your aperture, with your embouchure, not aperture. My apologies. You will go ahead and curve your lips inward to go ahead and play the upper register. And if you want to hit above the octave B flat, that is what it could be used for as well. See, that time I didn't actually hit the B flat because I'm so used to actually tonguing the B flat instead of slurring it. When I tongue the B flat, it just immediately hits. I still have trouble going ahead to slur upward to that B flat. Let's descend from the first position, starting on the F. Back up and then down again. As I stated, it's all about this, your embouchure. Now we'll go ahead and look into Brad Edwards, and we're gonna go into page 8, exercise number, page 9, my apologies. Page 9, exercise number 6, extending with natural slurs. So what this is that you actually have a descending pattern of notes. As you can see right here, you're starting on an F on one phrase, E on another phrase, and then E flat on another phrase. We're just going to go ahead and do half the exercise, meaning we're going to do the F and the E, not the E flat. This exercise is also sufficient for helping you with alternate fingerings for trombone. For example, if you play a D natural in first position, it's going to be the same thing in fourth. The thing is, you may have to pull in a little more. Or say you play G. As you play the slur from a natural position, you have to pull the slide in just a little bit. So say that for B natural, you have to pull, you actually have to pull in, and then for D, you have to pull out. Now that I say that, let's actually go ahead and do exercise number 5 really quick on page 9, which is the ranging between the second and sixth partials. This is actually going to explain what I mean. Let's go ahead and do the fourth positions. We'll do that again. If you see me move the slide a little bit, I'm still playing in fourth position. The difference is that you have to pull upward or outward depending on what the note is. For example, within fourth position, for B natural, you have to pull up. For D natural above the staff, you have to pull out. And then lather, rinse, and repeat as you ascend or descend. Now that we've taken care of that, let's go ahead and move on to exercise 6 on page 9, the natural slurs. See, I actually did better with the F patterns than I did with the E patterns. With the E patterns is the alternate fingerings and the fact that it's E natural, which includes accidentals, makes it a little bit more difficult because that means you have to be more precise with your slides. With the F, I was much more in tune than I was with the E, and because it was written in the key of F major, at least if you think of it that way, it makes it simple. Let's go ahead and do just the first the F phrase one more time. The way that that natural slurs worked for me was it's not ta, it's not da, it's la. That's how I always saw natural slurs. It's what helped me achieve with Professor Fred. I'm going to do that very slowly, the F phrase again, so you can see how the law technique works. See, even though it's slower, it does have a bit of a break. That's what makes it not so natural. You have to make sure the tongue is not completely in the way in order to achieve it, the natural slurs. See, and right there, I hesitated. Natural slurs are not easy. It takes time to go ahead and progress forward. And if you go ahead and take it at tempo or increase it or slow, it's going to frustrate you, but you have to not let it get the best of you. That's all the time that we have for slurring. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you find this video very informative for your college education.